Got this question. I have a fear of intimacy. What do I do? Ooh, that is some deep shit that I'm not really qualified to answer, but I'm going to give it a crack anyway. And you are going to sit there and get scared. What a cunty way to start. I think you've got a problem, don't you? So, what I do know about a fear of intimacy is that a good way of looking at it, the metaphor was that there are, when it comes to, let's just talk about intimate relationships, right? Your special other. Okay, so you've got islands, oceans, and waves. No, sorry, islands, waves, and anchors, that's it. Islands, waves, and anchors. And it has a lot to do with your upbringing. Now, people that grew up in a... I've got to stop saying now. I want you to just give me a nice virtual psh, don't every time I do. Islands... No, we'll start with anchors. Anchors are people that were brought up, because this is a lot of things. When it comes to all of these ideas of, I'm scared of intimacy, I don't like, I just keep breaking up with people and I don't know why. Like all of these questions, it's really creepy. We've talked about this before though, but a lot of it goes back to childhood. Yeah. It's really creepy thinking about the fact that like the way that I have sex is because of the way my mom raised me. And that's not even the creepiest part. But the theory that I've heard, and I personally think there's a lot of merit to it anyway, is that somebody who is an anchor is somebody who grew up in a nice, tempered, supportive environment. They are somebody who in a relationship is going to be happy enough in themselves that they're not going to be reflecting their insecurities onto their partner. So those are rare people and you hold on to them for dear life when you can. That explains my girlfriend to a T. Really loving parents. As a result, she's very secure in herself. She's not one of these needy people or one of these people that's like, I just need my space, right? Those are the other two people that there are. I said it again, no! And so, that's anchors. Normal people. But you know what? Not normal people. They are the minority of the population. Really, the majority of the population, not even just by the fact that it's that, I don't know, Super Tuesday thing of, well, if you tally up Joe Biden and Amy Klobuchar's votes, they beat Bernie Sanders. It's not that. It's just that there are more islands and waves. And it's because most parents do a shit job. And so the other ones are, waves, for instance, are people that are extremely needy in a relationship. They're the people that are constantly, why don't you love me? You didn't say it today. Those people that ring up constantly, I see it all the time. I see it constantly with my friends. Really needy girlfriends, what are you doing? Just that question, what are you doing? Oh, there's an hour of their life gone. Great. Those people. And, you know, just constantly cracking the shits with people over small things. You didn't do this, and I'm not even going to tell you why. I'm just going to break something of yours. There's those people. You see it in maths constantly. A lot of waves in that, and obviously a lot of islands as well. Now, islands, I would say, is what I am. Now, this goes back to... No! I'll get there. Just let me scream to myself every now and then. I'm not a mental patient. Giving advice to other people. This is how you be normal. Yeah, so islands, I would say, is what I am in a relationship, and it comes from the fact that usually if your parents are waves, the kids become islands. So if the parents are those people that are constantly, what is the word? Overprotective. Overprotective, helicopter parents, very controlling, the kids usually become extremely independent. Now, there's examples of it where they also become just man babies. That also happens. I'm just really lucky in that regard because I do know a lot of my other friends who did just become man babies. But I became extremely independent as a result of the fact that my mum was so, you know? So, that happens. Now, when you are an island, that is usually the people that have a fear of intimacy, as it would be said. They have a fear of intimacy because they have learned from their upbringing that if they are on that, if somebody gets too close to you, they start hurting you in an emotional way. It's too much emotional baggage. It's too draining. Someone, what are you doing now? Where are you? That kind of stuff. In my relationship, those are the times when I get the most angry. Anytime anybody is just like, even really petty things. Even my girlfriend asking me something very reasonable, so reasonable, like, what are you doing in the next 2 days? I get irrationally angry. Oh, I don't know! Stop suffocating me! That's what happens. And she doesn't. She doesn't. It is a result of, this is just the echo of what happens, right? Your mum, the way that, I hate saying this. See, there is a reason that I'm stopping and starting so much in this conversation, and it is this. The way that your mum raised you is the way that you will perceive women, particularly in relationships. This goes for both men and women. And the way that your dad raised you is the way that you see men. All right, let's go a little bit deeper. You ready? Brace yourself. It's really fucked. I don't know if that ever changes, but when you just see people that walk through life and they think that everybody's awesome, men and women, and that's usually because both their mum and their dad were cool. And so they think that everybody in life is cool, and as a result of thinking that everybody in life is cool, everybody treats them nicely. My girlfriend, again, perfect example of that. She just has this, you're a nice person, smile on her face when she meets somebody, and as a result, people want to behave nicely in front of her. If your mum was very controlling, then you're always just going to, in a relationship with women, you are going to just, what do you want from me? What are you trying to do? Yeah, you're trying to screw me over, right? So you become very defensive. That island thing, that is where you have your fear of intimacy. When you have the wave, you know what that is? That is usually because the parents were islands. The parents were islands, and this is something that you need to work on. This is actually why I'm quite scared of having kids, because I'm trying not to be an island. Because I don't want my kids to be one of the, why don't you love me? Kids. Because they are really emotionally unstable. They're extremely annoying. Obviously, clingy people. Waves. That's the breakdown. That's why you have a fear of intimacy. I don't know anything about you at all. But that's the answer. But I think that these maps, these general maps, are good to at least think on. I think there's a lot of truth to it. Especially when I've read about these theories. It just, look, you may as well just put my face next to island. That is me. Me just stuck on one of those islands. Help! Help! No, actually, you know what? This is the other thing. The island likes sitting there by itself. Good. I don't want any rescuers. But, yeah, they're usually fiercely independent people that have like a fear of intimacy. And, yeah, so, what do you do? What do you do if you have a fear of intimacy? Well, the first thing is that you need to at least acknowledge that that is the psychological root of it. And again, look, I don't want to be one of these people that sits there saying that everything that's happened bad to me is because of my parents. Fucking, they're why I'm a loser. No, you're a loser because you're a loser. But the point is that it's good to understand where these roots come from so you can at least have like a framework of how to get out of there and like what kind of person you are, what are those drivers that are making that happen. And the thing is, look, the people that are islands and waves, they are islands and waves because of the way that their parents treated them, and it just keeps going up like that. But the thing is that you can change that. Now, the main way to change that, I think when it comes to a fear of intimacy, is that you need to improve your self-esteem, but not in the way that, like, you're talking about when it comes to waves. So when you're talking about waves and you're talking about improving your self-esteem, is really just this thing of you need to figure out that you are okay to be alone, right? Like, it's fine to be alone. That is a good thing. That is a good thing for reflecting. People need that time to sit there and reminisce and, just tease out their life and where they're going. And if you can't do that, you are a failure of a person. Having said that, also, if you are an island, you are also a failure of a person because, as John F. Kennedy said, no man is an island. It is that thing of that if you are not able to have a deeper relationship with other people, that's 80% of life. 80% of life, of your successes and failures, are going to come from your ability to relate to others. So you need to figure out a way to bridge that. Now, I don't really know the way to do it because, honestly, me just figuring that point out, I think after that I just observed my behaviors in such a way that it's sort of naturally correcting itself. I wouldn't say that it's fully corrected. I don't think it ever will fully correct, but I think I understand at least where I'm coming from and why that's a deficient way of being in the world. Yeah, so anyway, look, sorry, can't help you. Oh, I feel bad. Oh well, I don't feel that bad because I'm an island. So anyway, look, I think that that's all I can help you with when it comes to a fear of intimacy. Yeah, sorry dude. Make sure you like the video, give me more questions, and we'll see what we can do next time. But there is some merit in that, just knowing where it's coming from. Look, I'm going to defend myself here, but